Oh shit!
Breaking news.
I'm behind. Did it score?
Yes.
Really? Happened? Wow!
What?
Dude, I recorded that.
Wait, let me listen to the goal.
I recorded my gameplay. You're going to watch his prediction.
This is Ali posted like on
Yeah,
Punkery Show.
definitely. Yeah. He just fucking predicted the goal.
We predicted the goal. Welcome. This is the Punkery Show, and you just heard England score a goal against Croatia. Okay, in Spanish commentary. You heard the goal. G fucking G. I swear to God, man, we started the show off with a huge soccer goal. Holy snit. Wow. Excellent. You can never, you know, see that coming. Alright. So,
That's why football is the best sport?
I mean, only international soccer is, the best sport. Otherwise, it's shit. Okay. It's tough. It's really tough to, you know, move on from that. You know.
I mean, soccer sucks, that's true.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Soccer does suck. Alright, so, start off the show, for the second time in Punkery Show history. Guess what? We're gonna have a donkey of the day. Nice! I know, usually this show is a piece of snit and, gets all of the leftovers. You know, it's like when you, cook your Thanksgiving dinner and, you have the main
Rashon
course.
is one of those parents that having second child, you know, ignoring the first one is like that.
Exactly. This is the ignored snit right here. But this time, the leftovers will get a donkey today. This was meant to be last night, but you know, never type anything while in Discord. Just never do it because you know, Backfire came and he was like, "Hey, Rashon, should play some Fortnite, and I couldn't fucking concentrate. So I had to wait till today to finish the donkey today. So today's donkey is gonna be on FUZZI again. And it's ironic that the only two donkeys that I've done on this show have both been on FUZZI. So GG for that. And I guess we'll start once I clear my throat. Cause I'm kind of DSP right now, so so
What are you doing with your throat?
I don't know, you know. They see the more that you watch DSP, the more congested you get because he likes to snort a lot. So give me 5 seconds of dead air here, all right?
Nice dodge.
Dodge, yes. And I have to do a DSP voice to Miss Donkey, but oh well, here you go. Just turn the music down. 0%. So yes, donkey today for Wednesday, July 11th goes to FUZZI. Before I start this, for the past week I thought of giving credit to people who gave me the initial awareness to give donkeys to people, since Rush did it back to back a few weeks ago, Giant did with Sales, and Kesh did with Ibrahim. But what got my attention
What?
Yes.
What?
You
I
what?
don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow, you have shitty memory. But what got my attention for this donkey was Chuppy in FUZZI's bitching defense topic saying, quote, "Great job, dumbass. Really, you deserve a spot on that black guy's donkey show on YouTube." First of all, fuck you. Go get cross-checked again, you fag. But on the other side, he brought up some nice donkey potential. Those two complaint topics by FUZZI and Jack Reacher has problems on both sides. Both can be deceptive if you look at one and not the other. Both players got disabled, that's cool. FUZZI isn't getting donkey for any of the obvious punishable actions here, though the failed Ninja Jack is suspect. My dynamic here is the act of mind your own business, dude. What I got out of a couple of those videos is that FUZZI tried to bait Jack Reacher into attacking him by just being in the vicinity of the action, more showing the shared a clip where Jack Reacher was getting attacked by Cyprex and GTA in Mulholland. There was no need to at all show that clip unless you're trying to enhance and manipulate your proof. Doing this kind of thing causes distrust for your future complaints. The other questionable clip was in the Camel's Toe where FUZZI showed Jack Reacher appearing to attack him, where it was just howlers buying weapons from him. From looking at FUZZI's first video, it was a complete coincidence that Jack Reacher and FUZZI so happened to come together against howlers, called for FUZZI in chat, but after looking at Jack Reacher's side, he is clearly trying to attack howlers, not FUZZI. It's completely plausible to say that FUZZI thought Jack Reacher was going for him when he clearly wasn't. But even then, that clip was shown to make Jack Reacher look worse than what actually happened. That as well as FUZZI never showed the hit he had on Jack Reacher. I don't know if all that was intentional, but judging from the Mulholland clip, which was useless, it might have been. I'm not saying Jack Reacher's innocent, obviously, but as we said in FUZZI's previous donkey, he's not great at accountability. Killing a guy for a flip-off is some Nicky Petty snit. The "where in his video do you see me breaking any rules" question is answered by the attempted Ninja Jack, which was obviously to kill him, not take his vehicle, hence why he didn't leave the scene. You tried to complaint bait him in Mulholland, which you didn't need to. Like Sayaka, you aren't a blameless victim here, either, FUZZI. You claim to say, quote, with the way this system is working, I can do like Jack Reacher and get anyone punished, even the good old players. Yeah, that's called counterproof. I think that's a lot more normal than you make it to be. Jack Reacher isn't disputing his disabled. He knows what he did, though you seem not to. Lastly, there's no need to criticize Ninja Tuna for the complaints. The CNR awards are a joke, but he didn't win most effective admin for nothing, because he's actually one of the few admins these days to consistently give a snit. The only thing Ninja Tuna did wrong in the whole situation was to use the word cringe as a noun. The only thing I can side with FUZZI on is that he got off the bike in the Camel's Toe, since you can't sell weapons while both being on vehicles, right? But even with that, he didn't truthfully convey the message of that clip. And lastly, I know your friend Mech, for some reason, started to cheat, but just because this situation turned out neutral for you, you didn't lose, you both got disabled. You don't have to do this pussy out method of, I can't get what I want, so I have to cheat now. You're an old fag era player. You're better than that. Long story short, make an honest complaint. Please give FUZZI the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons, please.
You are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yeehaw.
You know, I mean, FUZZI, you know, honestly, man, you just gotta let go of Jack Reacher. Okay, he's not important. He's not important. And just play your game, you know. But this brings me to the next thing, okay, and it's regulars turning into cheaters. All right. Now, no, that's not me. But
Me.
see, in the old fag era of SAMP, right, or in CNR. I remember when I was back when I was an admin on mini missions. There were your regular players who stayed players, and your cheaters who would join the server just to cheat. There was a fine line between player and cheater. You know, and I know it's not very easy to get upset in a team deathmatch server, but it was really rare for a regular player to turn a cheater. Okay, and when it did happen, it was you know, you put your body back, you put your hand on your chest, and it's like, oh, that guy turned out to be a cheater. Oh shit, so sad, you know. But in CNR these days, It's a bird. It's a bird. But in CNR these days, there are a lot of regulars who turn cheater. Okay? And it's become so often of a thing these days. It's become normal. I know an outlier has been Bullen Swee, who, you know, shout out to Bullen Swee, is on the server right now. You know, he cheated, and that was like a, you know, take you back moments, you know, gasp moment.
Yeah.
But
I was exactly gonna say that.
yes, even though it wasn't a gasp moment for me, but
Why?
know,
Just because you don't like most of the regulars?
I don't. But you know, Bullen Swee is kind of a head case. But you know, but you see FUZZI, right? Like I said in the donkey, his friend Mech, him and Mech used to play together a lot. Okay, I remember a few weeks ago, FUZZI and Mech were helping this guy named Mr. H, some Borat, with, you know, a 2008 computer who overheats playing San Andreas. He quit to avoid, and, you know, Debo and some other guy was like, hey FUZZI, Mech, you know that Mr. H quit to avoid. And of course, you know, FUZZI and Mech say nothing because they know that he quit to avoid, yet he calls himself a good old player, you know. But then Mech turned out to be a cheater, and if Mech and FUZZI are any of the same kind of person, Mech must have broke down mentally, something didn't happen in his way, for his way, and he turned to be a cheater, installed some cheats a la King Icarus, you know. And I noticed, because I actually was the one who banned Mech, because I noticed the complaint topic, and I was like, I thought Mech was, you know, a good new regular. This must be a mistake. Like, did an admin make a typo here? And I look, and I see, yeah, Mech really did cheat. Damn. That's weird. And you got FUZZI saying the same shit. Like, he, you know, he said he wants to unleash his full potential by cheating. And it's like, bro, like, stop being a bitch, okay? Things didn't go your way. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. As Ilya Brizgalov said, it's only game. Why you have to be mad? You know? You know, for real.
You have to be mid.
Exactly.
Oh, the thing is that cheats are not really frowned upon anymore. I mean, like, in worst case, right? If you're regular, you get bored of the game, you probably make some complaints that you don't really think the justice has been served or done or whatever. Then you kind of take the matters in your own hands, right? So you do this usually, and kind of like, I think there's no really great negative on side if you get caught, right? The positives outweigh the negatives, because the most you're gonna get out of cheating, worst case scenario, is gonna be like a few weeks, I guess. It's the most you can get.
Ban, yep. 2
week. And in that time, you're most likely gonna, I don't know, play other games or even play this game under other accounts and VPNs.
Sales.
And then you can be back, you know. And we take these people back. We always did. Even the regulars, you know. I didn't actually think Bullen is gonna come back, but
he's on the server right now. Oh yeah, okay.
And yeah, so I think like they just think, well, what's the chance I'm gonna get caught? And if I do, still it's just 2 weeks, you know. There's nothing really to lose anymore. I mean, anymore. Never has been, but I just think maybe back in the days or whatever, you know, it was frowned upon. People didn't want to play with cheaters, or like nowadays it's just like nobody cares, kind of.
Yeah, it's pretty much now no one gives a snit. You know, because Bullen Swee, you know, he got banned. He's come back, and there's, I mean, I don't play very much, but when I've been on the server with him, there's been no talk of, hey, Bullen, you cheater, bitch!
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. I mean,
so,
like,
yeah.
for regulars, obviously, like, I don't want like them to be bullied or something, but still, like, I feel like if you're a regular, right, then at least, I don't know, a few years ago, it felt like you kind of have some reputation to maintain, or that you should be a good role model or whatever for younger players, help them out, blah, blah, blah. But now it just feels like even if you're regular and you cheat, no one gives a snit, you know? You just come back and no one can say like, oh man, I'm disappointed in you, or like, I really thought you are a better person or better player or whatever. It doesn't happen. Like, they just come back, nothing happens. I honestly thought like he wouldn't come back just because he would be ashamed himself that he cheated, you know, and that people know him now for that, and he's gonna make another account. It wouldn't really probably take him a long time to earn some money or whatever and play. So I was kind of surprised that he came back.
I mean, when you got the kind of score and connect time and stats that Will and Sui has, that'd be pretty tough to, you know, change your name. There was a lot more of a stigma.
But imagine,
cheating,
like,
you know?
what has to go through that guy's head. Like, he has all these game hours, right? And he kind of like has had the reputation of being a good player or regular. You put all of that on the line for like some fun, you know, of cheating, which I don't think he was like one of the worst cheaters or whatever, just, you know, like casual fun cheating or whatever I would describe it. So it tells you kind of a lot about the state of the game right now, you know. People are like prepared to do that because that's the way, just the way it is.
Pretty much GG on England. Oh, never mind. But offside, excuse me. But I remember I saw.
Can you stop playing game for me? Cause like I'm from Slovenia, you know, my internet's a bit slow and like I'm a few seconds behind.
Fucking destroyed.
You are ruining game for me.
It's
but by the way,
21:58 for me.
I just have to tell that I owned Rashon as well. I think it was a few days ago or something.
What?
I messaged Rashon like, go, you know, and after 15 minutes he replies, wait, what? Are you like in front of me? Did they score? Like, am I behind? I'm like, Rashon, seriously, you answered 15 minutes later. Like, there's no chance I can be 15 minutes in front of you, you know, watching the game.
I mean, I had no idea. I had no idea.
Logic.
I had no idea at the time. Alright, I just.
She was so much behind. Maybe she was talking about the game that was played like 4 hours before.
So anyway, I get points for baiting Rashon, first of all, and secondly, you should give yourself donkey for thinking you're 15 minutes behind.
I mean, I mean, first of all, it's not my fault. Okay, nothing I could do because I didn't see the time. I wasn't even watching the game. I had no idea it was on, and I look at it, it's 0-0, and I'm like, what? Is there a goal gonna come up in 15 seconds? Like, is she 15 seconds ahead? What? Are you ahead? What? And I watch it for a minute. I'm like, there's no goal here. What? And
I baited. There was no goal. I just.
What a fag! What a huge fag! Well, I can say with that it just made me watch the game, so I didn't really get owned. So yeah, I would have gotten more owned if I forgot the entire game happened. So yeah, let's just say it's that. But yeah.
Like when you go to work, for example, Rashon, right? Yes. And there's like people around and stuff. Are you most football savvy right now at your workplace? Like the only American that knows something about football?
Well, the funny part is there are two guys, right, at the beginning of the World Cup. They came in and they were talking about the World Cup, and one of the supervisors was like, hey, what you talking about? And then one of the guys said, soccer, World Cup. And then the supervisor was like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because he's an American football fan, of course, you know. In fact, this is America, Kesh. Not a lot of Americans talk about soccer, you know, so yeah, you know, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I heard once that the reason the people don't watch football, right, is because there's halftime only like 45 minutes in, right? So, like, if you compare football to most games that Americans like, for example, baseball, American football, basketball, for example, you have a lot of breaks in those sports, you know, like quarters and pauses and stuff like that. The problem is that when Americans are watching soccer or football, how we call it, right?
Yeah.
There's break there's break only every 45 minutes, so there's
It's
no
all about
chance.
commercial.
So there's no chance for Americans, you know, to get burger, chips, fries.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could be part of it. You know, in basketball, there are many commercials during the 12-minute quarters. You know, football, same thing. You know, hockey, you know, there's commercials. And snits, and you know, the soccer, you know. See, the problem is, like, when you're getting close to the end of the game, right? It's like the 80th minute, and it's like, okay, I can't get up to do whatever. I need to watch the rest of the game. And it's like, shit, once the game ends, it's like, shit, I could have done that 15 minutes ago. Yeah. So, you know, soccer doesn't really allow, you know, Americans or anybody to do anything during, because you could leave and miss a goal. Whereas in a different sport, you could, during a commercial, do what you want and all of that. But
Well, to be honest, here in this World Cup, it's been like kind of a lot of games happened really late in the game, or like last 10 minutes goals, you know. Because I don't know, I remember one game. Oh, I think it was Germany, South Korea. That it was like 0-0 in regular time or something, and then they're like, I'm watching the game and I'm like, man, this game's finished. I'm going in the kitchen. I left my laptop running or something. I come back, it's like 2-0. The 92nd minute, someone scored, and 95th. You know, what are the chances? Imagine that guy who like probably placed the bet. You know, oh, it's gonna be a draw. You know. And then a ref gives like 5 minutes additional time. Guy's like, oh man, I won like 2K on this bet. And then he loses it all. I would kill myself.
You missed the complete relevant part of the game, GG. That reminds me of one day I was watching the Stanley Cup hockey. Okay. And, my team was in the final, the Boston Bruins. Yeah, that's my team. All right, so they were. I don't remember what the fucking score was. It was probably yeah, they were leading by a goal, right? Leading by goals, 2-1. So I go to the bathroom, right? Go to the bathroom. There's like 2 minutes left in regulation. Go to the bathroom. I come back. They go from up 1 to down 1. And I'm like, they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. What? Hello? And I was so mad because, you know, I just, like, I turned the TV off for some reason, so I couldn't rewind to see what bullshit just happened, and, you know, my team lost, so GG for that. Speaking of teams losing, though, you know, as Kesh knows, I've been very bipolar during this World Cup.
Yeah, you're fucking, I don't know, you're bipolar, you really have disorder, man.
Yeah, I've got a disorder because I've been switching between teams, and you know, this Croatia thing is getting to me, okay? Because, see, I'm not trying to come off as jelly or whatever, okay? But you notice when something goes into someone's favor all of a sudden, everyone flocks to the altar, okay, and starts celebrating, alright? So, you got Croatia, alright? And, oh shit, England almost scored a goal. They almost scored a goal again. They missed it. oh shit, I forgot. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry.
Shame on you.
Are you kidding me? How
You actually predicted one right before the show. That was the best one ever.
How didn't he score that? Oh, there was offset, I know.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Offside, GG. What was I saying?
Basically, what I heard is like, when their team was doing super well, I don't know, like you told me that Brazilians had been super, super loud when Brazil was winning, and when they got owned, suddenly they're nowhere to be found, right?
Exactly.
It's just like the world keeps spinning, people just kind of forget, oh man, we were so loud 2 days ago, I don't know, it's kind of makes you hate the teams you would otherwise like. For example, I think like a lot of people liked Croatia a lot and wanted them to do well, but now, I don't know, just because of things like that, I think people kind of change sides.
Exactly, because
But though you do have a disorder, though.
I mean, here's the thing, like, I can sit here and say Croatia, alright, is, before the tournament, of course, they were a dark horse team, and they've proven to be that dark horse team. So it's no surprise to me that they're this far. But as the wins have gone on, all the Croatians have come out of the woodwork. You got Rust, Vinix, you got Chuppy, and it's like, alright, hold on. Calm down, okay? Calm down. You beat... Wait, who lost to Sweden? I'm sorry, who beat Sweden? England, sorry. But, you beat some teams, alright? Calm the fuck down. Okay, because, if England wins this game, where you at? Okay? Where you at, Croatia?
Oh, to be really honest, like, they didn't really have the hardest, really, matchups to get to here. Like, if you look at it like realistically, who did they have to beat? Yeah, they beat Argentina, but they beat them in group stages already. Then they had to beat Denmark, which I don't know, is just not like top class team.
They're okay.
And they had to beat Russia because Russia have made a massive favor, like beating Spain. And even that they only managed to do twice through penalties. So if they actually get in the finals and manage to become world champions, I think they had like their fair share of luck. But honestly, this World Cup has been weird because a lot of teams have gone out right at the start of the tournament that was probably not expected.
Good.
Especially, I mean, did you expect Iran to get into the
Not really, no.
playoffs?
I mean, when you win, you win. I mean, Russia was the worst ranked team in the tournament, but they had that home field advantage.
Actually, Russian people were saying, like, I know a few, and they were like, oh, we don't even want Russia to play at the tournament because they'll put our country to shame, like, they're new players. I think even in the tournaments leading up to World Cup, they managed to lose some pretty easy matches and stuff. But I also have some French friends. Oh, you can hear my mother probably. Nice. But I know some French people as well, and the Frenches were also like, oh, our team is shit, Deschamps is a shit coach, especially in the group stages when they weren't like really impressing anyone with their play and stuff, with how they played. They got a lot of hate from French people, actually, and now they made it into final, you see. So I guess the opinions will change quickly. There's not many people actually that remain like objectively critical, Like, I don't think France plays the nicest football, like to eye, for example, to watch and stuff like that. And people have been hating on them a lot at the start of the tournament in the group stages and stuff, and they haven't changed their playstyle that much actually. But obviously it works somehow, and it managed to get them to the finals, right? It's not like aesthetically pleasing football to watch, but it works somehow. So a lot of people that were critical in group stages, I feel like now they will start to praise French team. Oh, they're like great and stuff. Man, you just criticize them like in group stages, you know? How can they go from the worst team to the best? They don't, you know? So I actually respect people a lot that remain critical to some point. Like, even if the team manages to become world champion, you know, obviously they're best in the world, but it doesn't mean that you cannot be critical of them or that there's nothing wrong with their gameplay or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just like EDP, he's a very big Eagles fan, and every time the season starts, he says his team is gonna win 2 games. So that's reverse psychology. You know, all of that.
He's always positively surprised whatever happens.
Exactly.
I think the boss actually at this World Cup, like the ultimate winner of this World Cup, at least yesterday, was like Thierry Henry, you know. I don't know if you know him, but
yes.
He's actually French, you know, and he was on Belgium's side. So whichever team would have won yesterday, obviously France won, he would be the ultimate winner, you know. Because if Belgium won, he would be like, I told you, French fucks, that's why I went to Belgians, you know, they do it better. But now the Belgians actually managed to lose. He's like, well, I'm still French at the end of the day, you know. So,
yeah,
kudos.
I saw the meme. I saw the meme of Thierry Henry. You know, the reaction when the France guy scored the goal. It shows Kanye West laughing until the coach of Belgium looks at him and he stops laughing.
But seriously, like, what did you do, for example, right? You're French. You've been French all your life, right? And you're there, like, sitting on the Belgian bench, right? And the French guy scores. Like, doesn't your instinct tell you, like, to jump up and celebrate? you obviously cannot not do that, right?
Nah.
Because the professionalism and stuff. I mean, what do you do in this case? Do you just think, oh man, fuck it, or?
Well, if you lose, yeah, you know, fuck it. You got a second team, kinda on the low. So, of course, if he comes out and says, "Congrats to France," if they win, then that's no problem. That's no problem because he is from France, you know, deep down. So, you know, I wouldn't see a problem with that.
Actually, I don't. Is he from France?
Thierry Henry, yeah,
he is. No, I kind of tried to play that on that kind of joke that some people are saying. I don't know if you're aware that France is actually the only African team that remains in this World Cup.
Oh,
whatever that means.
That's the only appeal I have for France right now because they've got a lot of black players and you know. That goes to what Hope Solo said a few weeks ago is one of the reasons why the United States is not in the World Cup because they don't attract any black players to play soccer.
Yeah, you don't.
So, yeah.
Considering how many like European population, you know, and how many black people there are living in USA. Looking at your national team, at least I mean I'm not really up to like updated on your team right now, what your lineup is and stuff. But when I played Slovenia, like at the last World Cup, I don't think you had many black players in the team actually. No, it's more like white guys sport or something else.
There's only 2 that I remember. Josie Altador, who's the striker, and this German American guy named Jermaine Jones, and he sounds European, but he's on the USA team. So yeah, that's all the black players I remember on the US team.
I think it's just because, like, I don't want to be racist or anything, but maybe this is not even gonna sound that racist, but I think it's just that black guys or black, like, teens or whatever, you know, guys, they are kind of, I don't know, by default, they usually have stronger they're they have stronger build than regular white guy, you know. So I think
I guess that was a sexual question.
I mean, if they're kind of like tall and well built or whatever, they kind of quickly get picked up by American football teams, you know. That's why you don't have that many players in soccer, because if they're actually like good at sprinting or they like kind of strong.
We kind of have that in soccer too. If you're tall, you know, you're good for doing headers and stuff. And yeah, mostly tall people.
Because
but,
like,
yeah, you gotta have some techniques too.
I mean, because if you look at the American football, right, there's a lot of black guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's your answer, kind of, I guess.
They're mostly the athletic ones. But you know, because Hope Solo, right? She's the goalkeeper for the U.S. women's soccer team, and she just came out, you know, blatantly said that you know, in the U.S. soccer is a rich white guy sport.
How can it be rich guy sport? I mean, like, for example, you look at skiing, for example, here in Europe. Yeah, that's an expensive sport, you know. You need to get sponsors. You need, like, I don't know, 10 sets of skis, and each set of skis is like 200, 300 plus 600 even euros. Then you need like binds for your skis, ski boots. Of course, like, skiing is not sport you can train just anywhere. You need to go to skiing resorts, which are super expensive. Blah, blah, blah. In summers, you actually have to go to places that have some snow because you cannot ski at home.
Yes.
That's like rich guy sport, you know. But for football, aka soccer, what do you actually need? It's like you need some sort of football boots and ball, you know. Not that much actually. So
Yeah,
how can it even be a rich kid sport?
I kind of figured that. I mean, maybe as far as organized, you know, organized soccer, you know, like, because first of all, like, if you're a, you know, black kid, right, you can just, you know, there are many people who want to play basketball, you know what I mean? Yet you're not gonna find the same for soccer.
Yeah, because like here, here, for example, we have little football pitches everywhere. Of course, it's not like big football pitch, you know, like we see here now, grass pitch in Russia or whatever, you know. We have small, like it's just really small pitch that is made out of, I don't know, simple like steel frame or whatever are actually goes, and you have tarmac on floor and on ground. That's it, you know. You can play, but I don't see that anywhere in USA. You have like this small basketball courts or whatever,
yeah, or baseball,
but not for soccer, you know. So even if kids would want to play outside, they can't really, you know. So they go for something they can play, which is
it's
probably
been in their culture, I guess. Baseball and basketball, you know, and American football, they've been.
So naturally, right, they're gonna pick up that rather than soccer.
Well, yeah. I mean, even baseball here is kind of losing it as far as young people, you know. I
don't really understand why though, because like for baseball, I think you actually need more, you know, in terms of like how much it costs to make a small pitch. You know, for baseball you need like sand and grass, and you need to make like the proper shapes, you know, where people run like first, second, third, whatever base, you know. I don't know how many they are because I have no clue about baseball. And like you probably need some sort of netting around, right? So you don't go look for a ball, I don't know, somewhere like on the road or whatever. But in terms of football, you really don't need that much, you know. You don't even need to draw like lines on the floor, really. Maybe just like the basic ones, you know. And you need 2 steel frames to put goals up, and that's it, really. So
yeah, you know, you have to look into.
I mean,
the cost
even
of soccer,
if
you know.
African kids do it, Rashon. Look at those African pitches, like made out of mud, and I don't know what they put. Like they put 2 bottles on floor to represent the woodwork, and that's it.
Well, yeah, you know, it also brings me to wonder. You know, they talk about lack Americans in soccer, but why don't African teams ever get far in the World Cup? That is something I don't understand. Maybe it's access to you know, certain conditioning bullshit I don't really understand.
I think they don't have enough. How do you call it? Like they didn't experience enough time playing so-called proper football. You know, because you have like few individuals, of course, that are good and they're playing for good football clubs, but the rest they're not. You know, they're kind of playing in their small African leagues.
It's actually the budget. It's actually the budget government give to the federation. You know, they focus mostly on basketball and baseball because they know that they suck on football. That's why they don't really pay a lot of budget to the football federation to start building those stadium and what do you call it?
But in Africa they have.
What you call it, attract youth and stuff, you know, attract a lot of young football players, but yeah, they don't have those kind of budget. I guess they do it on others.
I just think with African players, it's mainly that they don't play in stronger leagues apart, you know, individuals, whereas like most European players play in some sort of good clubs, or even European like second leagues are probably stronger than, I don't know, second or first African leagues, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because you look at Egypt, right? They got Mohamed Salah, but besides that, who they got?
Yeah, but that guy was probably a youngster in some good team since age of 12 or whatever. You know, if he had remained in Egypt for longer, he probably wouldn't have been such a quality player.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, because all these Europe teams, they usually have guys that play in Europe leagues and all that, and you know, the Europe leagues are the best in the world, and old European players go to the MLS when they're old. GG. You know the MLS, Major League Soccer? That's
yes. That's where we send people after they are 38 years old.
Too bad.
AK, Beckham, Lampard, much
fucking bad.
Everyone.
Okay, so England, Croatia just went into halftime. All right, and you know, the last three teams left. I mean, I don't really want to root for either. Rather. You know, even this one, I just don't know. Like I was thinking of something before the show here.
I actually rooted for Belgium, but now they're out. I'm actually, like people say it's because I'm from Slovenia and Slovenian people are envious of Croatians. It's not that, but I would seriously like to see France-England final just because of the rivalry between both countries, you know. Actually, I talked with some French guy yesterday and I was like, so, like, who do you hope wins, right, today? And he was like logically, he should have wanted like the England win the match, you know, because England were considered in some aspects of the game weaker than Croatia, whatever. But he doesn't actually want England to win because he's like, well, you know, finals are dodgy and random, and if it happens, you know, I would actually rather to lose to Croatia than England. Like French people don't want to lose to England. That's a good
viewpoint, yeah. So. Very, very historical. We go back to the fucking history bullshit again. Okay, so we'll be right back. All right, gonna take a break here. When we come back, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. This is the Punkery Show. Hi, welcome back. This is the Punkery Show here with your host Rashon, and we also got catching Ollie here, and guess what we got? Breaking news out of the studio.
Breaking news.
Alright, so I finally figured out which team I'm gonna root for to win the World Cup. Alright, I've done the process of elimination of Punkery. Alright, and the team that I'm now gonna root for is France. Okay, France is going to win the World Cup. Alright, because I'm gonna tell you, England, I have no interest in England winning the World Cup. Alright, as time has gone on, Croatia has turned me off. Okay, they've turned me off. They really have. And I can just see the celebration on the CNR forums or in the game of the yelling that Croatia is going to do. Now, listen, again, I respect the Croatian team. And I've said before that Croatia is collectively the smartest country on CNR. Okay, but I don't want to hear you snit.
What?
What happened? What did I say wrong this time? Is Croatia not the smartest team? I'm sorry, the smartest country on the server? Hello?
It's
not?
players?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Am I close?
Do I even have to argue this?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Look
Yes,
at
are
people
you?
like Soros, Salt, Vinix. I know. Is that not enough? Do I need to go further?
I mean, Salt is an outlier,
Rush?
right? Rush is Canadian.
Snoopy?
That's the personality. You can't tell that.
Snoopek is Polish.
Snoopy 55.
Snoopy? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tony Soleone?
he's Croatian.
Like, seriously? Seriously?
Wait, Tony Stolian is Croatian?
Yeah.
No. I mean, Snoopy gets bullied by Salt. Used to, I mean.
Sinisha? Sinisha, I think it's Croatia too. Sinisha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. I got you. I got you, yeah. You know, Vinix is pretty autistic. He's conscientiously autistic. You know, it's funny because one of the reasons why I didn't want Croatia or England to win is that, you know, I looked at England and I thought it snit a little bit, and then I looked at Croatia. I looked at Soros and I was like, okay.
Actually,
No.
you were more like, hey, which Croatian girl I know? Oh, it's Soros. Don't worry. Like, not worth fighting for. Which English girl I know? Oh, shipfucker, she's too old for me, and Kitty
my
Catty,
God.
she's gone. And then you're like, oh, French girls, there's few.
Yes.
I should get some points on radio show.
Absolutely not. Okay, that
Of course.
that definitely was not part of the process of elimination. All right, definitely not. Definitely not. All right, but you know, since no one listens to this show anyway, you know how Thrust and Snit like to say the word cringe, right? Which I hate. But if you look at if they both look at each other, that's cringe. But you know, so yeah, France, going for France in the World Cup. All right.
I just think this World Cup, like, whatever team wins, you're gonna feel at the end, like, are you gonna feel like the best team in the world actually won? Like, I don't know, a few years ago, at least like at the last World Cup, like Germany was so dominant that when they won, you could feel like, yeah, man, this team is the best in the world. Or even Netherlands, who got kind of unlucky with Argentina and stuff. Even if they would make it to finals and they would win, you would feel like, yeah, you know, they're the best team in the world. But
Yeah.
right now, imagine like England winning in finals. Would you feel like they actually showed the best football, or like they're like the
Absolutely
best
not.
team in the world? Or like if Croatia manages to win, I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Or if France.
Absolutely
well,
not. Yeah, you know,
I mean-
it's one of those World Cups. I think Belgium would have felt a bit better.
Yeah,
But,
Belgium
you
would feel for me like the best team won, but I know it's just how it is. I guess it's because like we don't have like dominant team like we had in some World Cups so far.
Yeah, because not even in the group stage was there a
like none
team
of them
like
are
that.
super convincing to me. Let's say like from game to another game to another game. Like for example, like imagine Croatia winning World Cup. You would think, well, they made it through 2 matches like on penalties, you know? They almost lost to Denmark and they almost lost to Russia. It was penalties. How can they be the best team in the world? But they could, you know, they very well could.
There you go. And I can't believe I made the realization that Croatia is not the smartest country in CNR. I think that's a real realization right there.
So what are you gonna do now? Like, will you choose French players to be the smartest? Like the girls are obviously smart.
There aren't enough players. Okay, that's number one.
What about Brazilians?
No, absolutely not. I think we really have to answer that question. Like, what is really the smartest country on CNR? Because it's not Croatia anymore. It's not Brazil. It's definitely not England. Definitely not.
It's actually pretty interesting how some countries are well represented in some games and not in the others. For example, like there's this website HLTV, which is like the main website for CS:GO, for example. And right now, because like the World Cup is going on, of course, there's like a lot of random topics there, and people are like creating topics, you know, oh, let's go England, blah blah blah, and there's no Croatian people there, you know. It's like they don't have their representatives on that website. And there's like a lot of Polish people and Russians and stuff, but on CNR you have like a lot of Croatian people, and you don't have hardly any English people, you know. So if you would have like a topic, you would probably see a lot of replies by Croatians, but not so many from English players.
Yeah, pretty much none.
Yeah.
Pretty much none.
Which is so interesting, because if you look at both forums at the same time, if you have like both open, like for example Crazy Bob's forum and that one, like the difference is night and day, and it's essentially like the same competition going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm getting mad just because, you know, there are more Croatians on the server, so there's more of a chance to see them, you know, flock. But especially, you know, AgentM, who is Slovenian, but he, after Croatia's win against Russia, was spamming Harry Thompson's Discord with Croatia, Hrvatska. Like, fuck you, bro.
Oh my god, seriously,
okay.
What a cuck. What a cuck, seriously.
Cuck, yes.
You have these Slovenian people, when Croatia is doing well, you know, they get completely cocked and they behave like they're Croatians. Like, seriously, have some pride, man. You're still Slovenian, or aren't you?
I mean, I asked him, like, do you have family members in Croatia? But he was too busy fanboying. So
yeah, like most people actually do. I don't know, like for example, our capital city, Ljubljana, I would say like population is mostly like 80% of people probably have their parents or grandparents. One of them is from ex-Yugoslavian countries, you know. So maybe that's why we're not really patriotic nation as well, because everyone is kind of supporting some other country, either like Croatia, Serbia, or whatever, and then they're like, oh, Serbia and Croatia are doing better. I might as well just support them because I have a granddad who's Croatian, you know, or some shit.
yeah, I guess that all makes sense. But still, either way, let's go France. Yeah, take it on Sunday.
I'm about to get some pussy.
Listen, all right, that was not a factor at all. Okay, zero factor. In fact, that had negative factor in whether or not what country. Negative factor, definitely. Okay, so.
Oh, I just have to ask you something before we end. So there's been guy that talks to me a bit on Steam and stuff, And he said, look at Russia's results before World Cup, you know? They were losing easy matches, like their team was shit. They were like losing 6-0 one match or whatever they lost, you know? And now on World Cup, look how well they performing. Like, and he started talking about like steroids and stuff. Because like Russians are known, you know, they've even been like banned from Olympic Games and stuff. So, what do you think about that? Do you think we're on steroids?
Okay, well, my first thought about that was, of course, when you're the host nation, all right? You're the host nation, you're playing games, you know, you don't have to be 100%, you know, when you're playing, because you know that you're going to be in the World Cup. So when you play to get ready, you can just try out strategies and all this, and you know, you've got a bit more flexibility, you know. So that could have been the reason why they were the lowest ranked team in the World Cup, and they probably weren't really that because they were practicing snit. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I guess Russians have the same thought because, of course, you know, like, you know, Type Aximo betted on Saudi Arabia to beat Russia, which was, you know, very bad. You know, speaking of AgentM right now, he's actually at this moment, 20 minutes ago, he just said Croatia, of course, is gonna win. Heart sign, Croatia flag. CG, AgentM is a fag, 100%. He is a fake Croatian. GG, fake Croatian.
Might as well get your ass tattooed checkered.
Exactly.
You know, like their t-shirt.
I'm getting tired of the checkerboard, really am. I'm getting tired of it.
They don't have checkers today, though. I mean, it's not really... It is checkered, but it's dark, so you can't really see it.
I mean, yeah, but all this repping of Croatia and the checkerboard, I'm getting tired of it. It's been overplayed by now. So, you know... Yeah, well, let's go France. Yeah! Yeah! France, they're gonna win the World Cup. Yes. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Punkery Show. All right, there's still 40 minutes left in the soccer game. Give me a second here. Of course, I don't, you know, for those people who bet on the game, hopefully you guys, you know. Oh, look at that! England just scored another fucking goal. Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! England scored another goal. It's 2-0.
You're a faggot.
Golazo, Inglaterra! Golazo! Hey, guess what? Guess what?
Kilowatt.
You got trolled. That wasn't the goal, that was the replay.
Wow.
you just had to pay back, right?
I had to pay back, yes, I had to pay back.
Actually, you know, I typed in BBC.com because I wanted to see. I mean, if they actually scored, you know, it would have been on.
You got trolled. GG.
You're a dick.
Destroyed. Fucking destroyed. That's gonna do it for the Punkery Show. Before I get beat up, let's go. Rip is dead.